Heyo, Ghost here, Dave here with another Destiny 2 Black Armory video. Technically, this is an Iron Banner video, because Iron Banner came back on Christmas, and it brought back the hero's burden from year 1 with some new tricks up its sleeve. Those tricks obviously being random rolls. It's a 900 RPM SMG adaptive frame. You get your sight. I got ricochet rounds, which adds to the range stat. I got under pressure, which it's 900 RPM. It's always getting more stable because the magazine is just about always low. And I got kill clip for more damage, because who doesn't love damage? Sadly, I got a handling masterwork, but it's not that bad because like handling is really nice on SMGs as well, and it pairs with the sprint grip I put on it because I had a couple of those from Ada. Here's the Bumblebee shader, that's just what I use. Here's the default gun, it looks pretty good, it's not anything too special, it's a Suros SMG, and here's it with the new Iron Banner shader. It's a beautiful gun, and I was actually surprised at how good this gun actually is. Year 1, don't get me wrong, it was good and I enjoyed it, but year 2, this thing is insane. So let's go right into the footage. Alright, so let's address the number one thing that most people think when they think SMGs right now. And that is, oh right, a close quarter weapon that doesn't one-shot against a shotgun. Haha, you're funny, kid. But no, most people think SMGs, scouts, and autos are the worst weapon types in the game. However, those are 3 weapon types I use all the time, and as you can see by most of my videos, I tend to frag out with them, right? They're not bad by any means. There are definitely better weapon types, right? Like, as we said, the shotgun does one-shot. It does have the advantage over the SMG, but that by no means changes the fact that SMGs still have good time to kills. 600 RPMs a little bit less. I do enjoy quite a few 600s at the moment. There's the Black Armory. It's either the Atlanta, I believe. I've been enjoying that one quite a bit. And then I got this one, and I was so surprised because 900 RPMs I haven't been using a lot of. I've been using mostly the 600s between Antiope and Atlanta, but the 900 RPMs are being slapped on right now. Maybe the ones we had before this just had really bad base stats or like bad rolls, but this thing is a monster, hitting 16 per crit, being a 900 RPM. I don't know for sure what the time to kill is, but it just felt like everyone was falling over, especially when you proc kill clip with this weapon. Which is easy because as an SMG, it has an insanely fast reload as it is, along with if you get something like Flared Magwell, Jesus Christ, this thing's a monster. Anyways, it comes down to the simple fact that yes, you can get one-shot, but most of the time in the Crucible, you can outplay shotguns by gently moving to the right or left. They're either going to overflick or they're not going to move their cursor at all, and you're going to get away scot-free and be able to melt them down with this thing, because unless it's a rapid fire frame and you get one shot by the next shot, you're gonna beat them in that 1v1. It has the time to kill to deal with that. And then my next point here, obviously you see we have Bannerfall, which is known for being a laning map. You know, you play outside, you play up top, you're laning with your pulses, your snipers, you're getting the sick frags and whatnot. Anyways, I get this map and I'm trying to show off an SMG, and I have limited time today because obviously today is Christmas. I have people to spend this with, I have friends to hang out with and whatnot. Anyways, so limited time, I don't want to play too many games, so I get Bannerfall, and at first I kind of thought to myself, like, this might be rough, but then the way you have to think if you're using an SMG, you have to think smart. You have to think, okay, I'm using an SMG on a long lane map, so I need to play this smart. I need to be playing the right side of the map, forcing them to come to me, and then also still keeping my distance so they don't turn a corner and shoulder charge or one-shot me. That's just how you have to play weapons like scouts, SMGs, and autos if you want to play with them, right? They're not bad. You just have to think about it. You know, you can't be stupid. You can't go outside with the SMG the entire time and just get laid down by pulses. And then the only thing most people get from that scenario is like, oh man, SMGs are just bad. And that's not how you're supposed to look at it at all. It's like you took a racehorse to a drag race and then you lost and you're surprised by it. You didn't have a chance there. You're trying to compete out of your league. But if you race your horse up against other horses, there you go. Now you have your chance to win. And sometimes you even have the advantage, you know, because you spend a lot of money on your horse. Or in this case, you spend a lot of Iron Banner tokens to get your hero's burden. And honestly, I don't see how this gun is a burden, right? Like, the name doesn't make sense because this is no burden, you know. In fact, you can just use this weapon on most maps because of how strong that I felt it felt, especially with kill clip, that like, this is the hero's crutch, man. The hero is injured and this is what he's crutching on. At least it was what I was crutching on for this game, because I never felt the need to swap to anything else, because it was just, as you can see, it's great. In fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna say you want kill clip. I'm just gonna say kill clip's probably the god roll for this weapon. Do you want under pressure? Well, as you can see, it's stable as fuck, but I don't know how it is without it. Obviously, because of how fast it's firing, I'm assuming I just about always have under pressure actually active. So there could be something better there, like moving target or whatnot, but I don't know. I don't have it. I'm still gonna be grinding iron banner because this is the only role I've had of the weapon so far, and I want to try out different ones, right? If a weapon got me this excited, as you can hear, like, of course I'm going to want to try different versions of the weapon, because this thing is a laser beam. It melts. It's just good. I love fast-firing weapons. I love automatic weapons. I love tracking in video games, which is why I use auto rifles, and I'm seriously in a dilemma here, because I'm debating switching my shotgun on my main loadout. My main loadout is Horror Story, Retold Tale, Prospector. I have videos on the Horror Story and the Retold Tale if you want to check either of those out. And anyways, that's just the loadout that I always end up using. I use the shotgun to counter other shotguns, and I use the auto rifle for literally everything else. But I'm debating, like, this thing was so good at beating shotguns, like, do I need the shotgun myself, right? Can't I just use this SMG? And as you see right here, I'm up against two people and I take both of them down. This thing is a close quarters god.
Only 5 minutes left.
In fact, like, when they first announced that only Hero's Burden and Criminal's Dagger were coming back, like, I was excited for the guns coming back because I love seeing Year 1 guns come back with different roles, as I was excited about the Horror Story and whatnot when that came out. But I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, there's so many Iron Banner weapons. We didn't get any new ones as well. We only have the original Forsaken Iron Banner weapons coming back and whatnot. But I'm not disappointed anymore, knowing that this is the heat they're bringing to the table. It gives me huge hope that Bungie's going to keep giving us weapons from Year 1 that are like, oh yeah, you missed me, well, I'm back, you know? Like, I am a monster now. I took my time. I went into the Himalayan mountains. I trained with the monks. I know exactly what is up, man. This gun was once the Hero's Burden, but after training, it is now the Hero's Excalibur. But seriously speaking, if you came into this video thinking like, yeah, well, it's an SMG, you know, like SMGs aren't that good, I think the footage shows you that you're wrong. And even if you go like, oh, well, it's one game, you know, it could have been a fluke, it's like, yeah, the efficiency and the kills and whatnot, that can be a fluke, but the time to kill doesn't lie, meaning that somebody who's good with this thing, somebody that's using it to counter shotguns on the side, somebody who just swap into it every now and then and uses it when they're pushing inside a building, they're going to see this weapon shine. The people who have some weird loadout on and then they all of a sudden see they get convergence and their heart sinks because they know they're about to get charged into shotguns and whatnot, they're going to think, wait a second, I have a Hero's Burden. They're going to throw it on and they're going to pop off. Like, I am, for the first time in my life, I'm upset I didn't get convergence. Because convergence right now in Destiny 2 is easily my least favorite map. Just because the way that people ape on that map, it is just, it's not fun, it's not great, and it's just generally a map that I don't enjoy. It's nothing but tight corners. But if I would have gotten it today with the Hero's Burden, I would have been so excited. And again, right here, the continual 1v2 in this gun, just being able to outshoot two people, finally playing with a weapon with a high rate of fire like this. It made me a little bit sad because I do miss 600 RPM. I miss my Scathe Lock from Year 1. I love the Horror Story, don't get me wrong, but I miss not having the option, right? Like, I still have not gotten a great roll Ether Doctor. That's just the situation I haven't had, but it is an amazingly refreshing change of pace to have a Hero's Burden like this. It comes out of left field, and it's strong. It's got everything good about it, right? It's got a good recoil direction. It's really stable. It's strong. It feels good, which is a good part of it. It has a good shot sound. Obviously, I got a really nice sight. And it's just nice, sleek, simple. In fact, the basic shape of it reminds me a lot of a Mollywan gun from Borderlands 2. But all of that put together just makes it a top-tier weapon in my book, right? Like, even if we're not trying to compare it to other things that take up the same slot, like Luna's Howl, Kindle Orchid, the occasional Ikelos, a Badlander, anything like that, right? Obviously, there's a lot of reason to use those weapons, but I do think there is enough reason to use this one as well, even if it's just that you want a nice change of pace, which I get it. Most people who play the Crucible, they don't. Every single game, they're running Ace of Spades and a shotgun, Mindbender's Ambition, or Luna's and Dustrock, like every single game. But if you are ever feeling adventurous and you want to try a different change of pace and still not feel like you're going to be crippled, this is your go-to. In no way, shape, or form did this weapon at any point feel like it was a burden to have or that it wasn't optimal. It just felt good. It felt solid, and that's a good thing to feel. I enjoy the Atlanta and the Antiope both. I think they're both fine right now. Like, I don't think they're insane. I don't think they're bad. I think they're both fine right now. But comparing this to them really says that 900s right now are the archetype of SMGs that you want. which
This
means,
is amazing.
by default,
Victory well
this is the SMG that you want. You want the Hero's Burden. We're gonna strut as always to end the match. We level up, that's nice, some free engrams. And the fact that there is somebody above me after that
They knew you were
insane
coming,
match
and it still looked like you
is surprising, but obviously his efficiency does not even compare. Jesus Christ, 10.33 with an SMG. Anyways, if you're still here, feel free to like the video, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends, do any of that. If you like my content, feel free to follow me on any of my other social media. I stream on Twitch, I post updates on my Instagram and Twitter, and that's just about that. If you're still here, leave. The video's over. I'm not going to say anything past this point. Nothing.